Hey, I'm Luke. This is part 2 of learning AI to automate anything. And I'm going to go ahead and clean up while I make this video. So let's go over some basics that you're going to need to know when working with AI. Let's start with what is an LLM? It's a large language model. Essentially, it's a way for us humans to interact with the computer in our language or with the language. You probably already know this already. I'm sure you already know that you get some unpredictable results. Also, an LLM is essentially a pre-programmed prediction model. It's not intelligent. Here's an example. If we were playing $1,000 Pyramid, that game show where I say a word and then you guess what it means or whatever it is, if I say Michelle, you'll probably think Obama, because all of the talk and everything that we've had over the recent years, that's the most logical connection. That's our training data and what's in the zeitgeist of everything. So the logical prediction when I say Michelle is you're going to say Obama. Now, let's say it was 1996 or a little bit earlier. The logical prediction would be Kwan, because Michelle Kwan was our ice skating star. However, that's based off that training data. And the training data has been updated, and so that's how it works. It's a prediction model. That's it. It's that simple. And so this training data is built up of all of the YouTubes and the internets, all the information. That's what the training data is built on, or parameters. And whenever the model exchanges information, it's done in packets or bundles called tokens. That's it. It's just how many tokens are we sending, how many tokens are we getting back. It's just a way to track information going back and forth. This is Ribbit. He's helping clean today. So I might have to Okay. We know what a training set is and a model is. So each model is built up off of different sets of training data for a particular purpose. Could be coding, research, etc. One more metaphor. All of the knowledge in the world is in a library. Let's say. In order to find that information, you need to use the card catalog, which is usually online these days or on a web interface. There are some tips and tricks to use this is yours. There are some tips and tricks to use the card catalog, and the librarian can teach you. I consider myself a librarian, and I'm going to teach you how to use the LLM or the card catalog to find the information that you need. Hot tip, if you want to do something or you're trying to do something, the way that us humans would do it or organize it might not be the way that an LLM would. So I always ask the LLM, is there anything that you need from me? What can I give you to help solve this problem? Etc. Each model has a different name, GPT-5, 4.5, Claude 4.5, and I give them different names. So GPT is Gina, Claude Code is Claudia, and DeepSeek is Lucy. So each model is a certain size. The bigger it is, the more parameters or data that it has. And when the model is working, it needs to be loaded into the RAM, the short-term memory, rather than the long-term memory. Due to hardware limitations, and even with today's technology, we encounter the context window. The context window is the amount of memory or space that you can fill to work with the model. Now, the model has to be loaded inside of the RAM, so some of the context window is already taken up by that. The rest of the context window can be filled with tokens, you sending information to the model and it sending it back. Now, here's the tricky part. The context window will fill up, and as it fills up, some of what was in it previously will be lost. Think of it like Tetris. Whenever certain blocks complete at the bottom, it disappears. And then some things are still there, some things aren't. It's really difficult, and it's one of today's engineering challenges, but I'll move on. There are strategies to save information as you go, so that way if you lose context, you can always loop back and the model can remember what it's doing. Okay, let's talk about what is an agent. An agent is an open chat with a model, but a set of instructions are sent ahead of time before you see it, giving instructions to the model on how to provide responses. So if I would say, I want you to open this file to ChatGPT, it's going to give me a long list of instructions. But if I make an agent or a separate Python program, just a simple little app, I'm going to send instructions to the model that says, every time Luke says open a file or refers to opening a file, I want you to format your response in exactly this way and then call this tool. So whenever I say, hey, Claudia, I want to open a file, it goes to the model reads my response, and then it reads the instructions that were provided by Claude Code, and then it returns the response in a particular format with a particular tool. And then on the local side, my program is waiting for those little tool calls, and then it'll go ahead and take the information that the model gave to it and then do it on the computer. An agent just takes our information that we're saying and it's formatting it in certain ways so the agent can understand. The agent doesn't have an LLM. It's just a particular computer program that's waiting for a certain word or keyword in order to take action. That's it. And I'm going to tell you the secret, maybe that, everyone's not saying, but all of these services, Lovable, N8N, whatever, Figma Make, they're all built on the same concept. They're all working with the frontier models and just interpreting the information with specifications that they made. You don't need those tools to do what those tools are doing. It is a good head start, but in the end, if you have a subscription to Claude Code, which I recommend, or Claude Code using DeepSeek, you can do everything that all the other tools are doing. So don't let them fool you. And as I mentioned in the other video, most things on the internet are free, but you have to know how to work with the terminal in order to access those free tools. But now that you understand that you can use Claude Code, which is an agent, in order to access those free tools, a lot of engineers and amazing talented people have already re-engineered how to do what most of these paid tools are doing. For example, deep research on ChatGPT. You need the $200 plan in order to use it most successfully, but if you use my keywords that I said in the last video, terminal, tool, free, and then I'll add one more, GitHub, HuggingFace is another good one. You can find these re-engineered tools for free and then use your Claude Code subscription to do deep research all by yourself and not have to pay $200 a month. That's it for this lesson. Next, we're going to talk about retrieval augmented generation and what all that is, which is a way to get your model updated information.